action. Hi everyone, welcome back to Montreal in real life. I'm Montreal, and today I'm going to be sharing some knowledge with you. Today I wanted to talk about the way that a narcissistic abuser casts shadows onto you and onto others around you for the purposes of isolating you and for smearing your name. Something you might be familiar with if you have experienced this is the smear campaign that you go through with a narcissist. It is when they basically drag your name through the mud, stuff that you may have never even discussed with them or talked to them about. They're just trying to make you look like you're the irresponsible one who needs to be taken care of all the time, while they are the beacon of a shining light to everyone around you. So it's another way that they try and seek validation, and also gaslighting occurs during this process, as well as just another way to subordinate you and make themselves feel superior to you, because at the end of the day it's all about them feeling like they're above you, but in reality no one is above you. So in a lot of my research and just joining these groups on Facebook, on YouTube that have to deal with this topic, I learned a lot about smear campaign. But what I didn't really see mentioned was the way that a narcissist, I don't know, there's not a word for it, so I'm just going to call it reverse smear campaign, which is basically where they talk crap about everyone to you. Instead of you being the subject that they're going out and telling people about, they're coming to you and talking trash about their friends, about your friends, about anyone who remotely might disagree with them or make them look inferior. And this is a common example of what happens when someone someone from the outside notices that your relationship's a little odd. You may have heard a lot of times when you're with your narcissist, or if you still are, that you look better than them, you're more successful than them, you just make them look better essentially. And that's another kind of reason that a narcissist would want to start talking to you, is because you do supplement the things that they lack. They see that you are a person who's going to make them look better, maybe to their friends or to their parents or whatever, but it's likely that you are having a lot of qualities that they don't have. And people start to notice that, not even just your friends, but it may be complete strangers. An example that I want to give of where this reverse smear came into play a lot was when someone would say I just don't understand your relationship, you're so much prettier than him. And not to be conceited or anything, but this is literally what happens. Some girl from AKO came through. I wasn't we're not friends, and I don't know her friendship with the narc. She's just someone here at one of the functions, one of the parties that he was throwing. And she's literally just saying, you're way prettier than him, he's weird, I don't understand your relationship, da-da-da-da. And, she says this stuff, in front of him, too. And so what takes place is that the narcissist then begins to tell me, stay away from her, she's an alcoholic, na-na-na-na. He has, a whole backstory about her crappy relationship with her dad and how she's drinking, and immediately I'm maybe she needs some resources. I'm not just gonna peace out on her, but if that was true, if what he was saying was true, which it wasn't, that's the thing, is nothing that they say is true. So but at the time I was okay, maybe we could just check in on her. And then he's no, she's drunk, and just I want to protect you, just stay away from her. And here's the thing though, is this would be the rhetoric for a lot of his friends. Okay, so something I noticed with both the covert and the overt narcissist, in my experience, is that they absolutely 100% talk crap about all of their friends. They don't want you to get close to anyone that you start saying wow, they're really cool, I'm glad that you introduced us, they're gonna be they're gonna shut that down and be like, nah, like they have this, that, and the third issue. Like there's always some kind of something wrong with that best friend person that is just not up to the narc standards. Like they don't really maintain real friendships. It looks like that. Like when you go, they want to introduce you to like their best quality friends because they want you to think that they're a good person. And you'll soon realize though that the narcissist doesn't really think that highly of the people that they're introducing you to, or they always have some kind of complaint about them. And it's wild because they're doing the exact same thing to you. They're going behind your back and telling everyone like, yeah, she drinks. It's like trying to make it look like I was like not in control of myself and that I needed his help. So trying to make it look like he's this grand good guy, you know, when in reality he's just talking crap about every single person in the room. So yeah, it's wild. Like even their best friends, both the covert and the overt, like even their very best friends, their brothers, were fair game for just trash talking all the time. And so yeah, like that's a perfect example of when this kind of reverse smear campaign happens. It kind of just pushes you away from, it's pushing you away from the people like that have different information than you, so that you don't get all the information, right? He doesn't want me to go talk to that girl and who he's telling that I'm alcoholic and like have me tell her that he's telling me that she's an alcoholic. Like he doesn't want us talking. Helped me to kind of put some puzzle pieces together and, you know, see like what was going on, see the whole picture. Was like I just talked to her. I was like, oh, like he said this about you, like, and that you said it about me. And then she was like, no. And then, you know, we just had an exchange of like information, and then we got the whole picture, like, oh, he's setting us up to like have some kind of beef, right? And that's another thing they use to try and seem like they're kind of the beacon of all information. They're the ultimate and no one should question them. They just have all the information. They don't want you to figure out the puzzle pieces, right? And certainly if you start talking to those other people, you will, right? So I don't know, I hope this makes sense. This is just like very brief. I wanted to just go into it because I think that it is one of those things that kind of goes over our head that we definitely look back and realize later, like, oh my gosh, like they were setting us up. And that's the thing, is like some of this stuff can seem like it is a mental illness. Like I mentioned before, it's been like people have thought they're a narcissist, like had bipolar disorder or something like that. And basically the thing is that this is planned and it is by choice. They may have all sorts of symptoms of underlying mental illnesses, but at the end of the day, they choose what actions they make and what kind of harm they bring to you. They're the ones in control of themselves, and the thing is, like, it's always going to be directed at you. They always have some kind of special illness just for you that only you experience, and somehow they're always going to try and make it your fault in that you deserve it. So just to recap that part, the narcissist probably is with you because you have a lot of great qualities that they lack. They try and make it look like you're the one who has all these issues and that needs their help. They definitely run your name through the mud to other people, maybe even in a subtle way that's just kind of like, oh, you know, I don't mind. That makes them look very like altruistic, like, yeah, I know she needs my help, so I don't mind, you know. And thirdly, they will try and smear everyone else's name to you so that you are isolated and you're not getting all of the information. Alright, thank you so much for watching. If anyone found this informational or insightful, I always love to know, and I always love to know what I could do better. And I hope that we are all staying safe and healthy and not afraid. We don't need to live our lives in fear of people. There's a lot of bad people out there, but we always should be aware and should be prepared just in case we encounter something like this. And if you are going through something like this, there is resources for you and there is a community. You're not alone. Alrighty, see you next time.